Hi, my name is Phil Aston and this is Now Spinning Magazine and this is Fruits de Mer Records, one of my favourite labels. They never cease to amaze me and the kind of stuff that they release. They are the label that introduced me and many of you to the band Sendelica. And I know there's lots of fans of this label on the Now Spinning Magazine Facebook group and in the WhatsApp group, and I know lots of you just collect anything that comes out from that label. It's amazing. It's run by a guy called Keith who knows his stuff. They'll release little 7-inch singles in picture sleeves. They'll do anything. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to introduce you to 4 albums, 4 recent releases that I think are well worth exploring. The first one, as you could see in my introduction, is this one called Nouvelle Musique. LP, also available on CD. I think this one came out in June. This is a duo. They've got a thing about duos at the moment at the Fruits. And this is Joanna Beck and Ian De Silva. Joanna is obviously the female singer and bass player, and Ian is the guitarist. Uncut describe them. There is a purity and beauty to this music that shines a light. Yes. A potent new pairing, Mojo. That's kind of one of those vague statements you didn't really tell you much about it, is it? They describe themselves as cinematic psychedelia, psych folk elements of folktronica. It's just beautiful music. They did also say it's a cross between Susie Sue and Trish Keenan of Broadcast. Don't know if I picked that up myself. What I felt when I made my notes listening to it is that this is a really lovely album to listen to, and it is very positive. It's very gentle. The production is quite sparse. Crazy Lady Blues is a song that's written by Sandy Denny. So those of you who know Sandy Denny will know that song, but all the rest are original songs. Some of the songs are sung by Ian, but mostly they're by Joanna. And if I had to find a place to kind of link in that some of you go, well, what's it like? Outside of just the really sparse piano and female vocal stuff, do you remember the Bangles before they started to walk like an Egyptian? So when that video they did with Spock from Star Trek that when it was really kind of had a real 60s psychedelic vibe to what they were doing. There. I made a note about that a couple of times, and it was this kind of a film noir aspect to some of the production as well, which I really liked. But it's pop more than folk in places, but it's a lovely, lovely record. So that's the first one, and it's anything that comes out on the Fruits label sounds. The pressings are lovely, and you get great packages. You always buy directly from this record label because you get lots of goodies thrown in as well. The next one is called Us and Them. I love this artwork. It's really unusual, especially that side with the bunny. The photograph taken behind a chair or something. This is... Bear with me. This one came out very recently, and this is another duo. And Record Collector magazine said, call it Psych. Yep. Weird folk. Mm-hmm. Whatever. Their sound is haunting and cozy, yet sometimes dark as tar. Turn down the lights and immerse yourself in it. Yeah, I can't really better that, really. It's very intimate. There are there are spoken word sections in this music, which leads me on to where we're going afterward for the next one. Because some of these records are kind of joined at the hip, really. Lots of really haunting vocals. They're a Swedish-based duo. They have a penchant for vocal harmonies and strong melodies and a combination of elements of folk, baroque pop, psychedelia. The songs are going to be introspective, based on personal experiences, but also expressing timeless and universal stories. They first recorded for Fruits de Mer back in 2009 and been regular visitors to the label ever since. It is like a giant family, this record label, and everyone kind of chips in and comes back or even plays on each other's albums, which you'll see in a minute. Us and Them is their third album, and there they are. Do you want to know what they look like? Are they smiling? They are. Well, sort of. But it kind of goes with this kind of... It's not... If you say the word folk horror, you'll kind of think it's the Wicker Man. It isn't. But it's got that kind of... Well, yeah. It's got a very... a unique sounding record. It's very easy to listen to. And it has... Oops. It's like a smoky splatter vinyl in a polyline sleeve. And all Fruits de Mer records are absolutely amazing pressings, and they are such amazing value for money as well. But this one has not been out that long, came out in September at the time we're doing this video. But keep hold of that, the name of Us and Them, because on the next one I'm going to show you the main vocalist, the female vocalist, and the spoken word appears a lot. There's a lot of stuff to unpack here. This is Himalaya. Now this is absolutely fantastic. It looks like Tintin, doesn't it? But this is one of these aspects of what good value. Not only do you get, it's a double vinyl album, polyline sleeves. This is just great going on your turntable. Okay, that's one of them. Second one. Nobody does coloured splatter vinyl like Fruits de Mer. Nobody. Anyone who's bought any Sendelica albums, you know exactly what I mean. You get this sheet inside showing you the tracks. The tracks are, there's 3 tracks aside apart from side 4 where there are 2. But you don't just get that. You also get a 2 CD pack in there, and I bet you're all thinking, oh, of the album. Nope. This includes tons of stuff that isn't on the vinyl album. I mean, again, it's a bargain. I mean, some of the tracks here are like 13, nearly 14 minutes long. It's different versions, alternative versions. It's just amazing. Now I made notes on this. I hope you did, Phil. So I retrieved my spectacles. There is a cast of 1,000 on this. Well, not 1,000, but there's loads of people on it. It's Joshua Opalak on guitars, Ron Holm on vocals, Mark Swordfish on drums, Bill Forrell on bass additional guitars, Joe Chin additional guitars and synths, Lawrence Collier harp and backing vocals, Paul Chosmit on keyboards, Adam Cole hurdy-gurdy. Everyone needs hurdy-gurdy on an album. Peter Bravatnik on slide, Steve Chard on Tibetan gongs, Anders Hackinson on additional words, Sylvia Plath, she's not really her, but the words are, Lars Norton on celestial orbs, Thomas Transformer Comets, and Robert Foster, Alan Shirley on words in the poem, and Dale Simpson did the cover. This is an album that's been played a lot here. Both my sons love it and Sue loves it, and it says, take a trip to Himalaya, a new name, a new album, Lost Horizon, a new collaboration between Australasia, Swordfish and Friends. Think Mortric Rhythms meets spoken word, Cosmic meets krautrock. It's a huge project spanning 2 LPs and a bonus double CD pack of extra tracks and remixes that comes with every set, and it's taken a long time to come together. Britt Ron Holm from the Swedish duo Us and Them, which I showed you just a moment ago. she was suggested to her to provide the spoken vocals, and that really puts this in a totally different place. The first track is Belle de Jour, which is about 6 minutes, and I put down it's 4/4 driving rock song. There's a bit of Hawkwind in there, but it's spoken word. It's dreamy, it's ambient. This Tangerine Dream with pulsating keyboards. It's trance. It's just fantastic. It's hypnotic rock that could just go on and on and on. It's lots of screaming guitars, but when I say screaming guitars, they're further back in the mix. Bit Sendelica in there, although they're not on it. It's a bit like, if you like, The Orb with Dave Gilmour. Spoken word again. It's very meditative. It's very Eastern sounding, as it would be with the Himalayas on the front cover. It's transient. It's trance-like. It could just go on and on and on and not be boring. The other thing about it is I've enjoyed this album immensely, and it's actually been this album that has delayed me in doing the reviews of any of these. So sorry, Keith. It's because every time I play it, I feel differently, and it gives more back to me as a listener. I listen to it, and every time I put it on, Sue goes, is this Himalaya? I go, yes. Oh, I really like this. And then she, it reminds me of this or that. We'll say, well, but we've heard it numerous times, but it's very hard to pin down, apart from the fact that when you put it on, it just fills the room full of positive ions and just makes you feel great. It's really uplifting. It's very different. If I say Tangerine Dream, it isn't. If I say Hawkwind, it isn't. But it's got that kind of vibe, and the spoken word aspect, this, kind of Anglo-Swedish, just puts it somewhere unique. Himalaya, and you get it's a double vinyl album and a double CD with totally different recordings on it. Fruits de Mer. Bargain. Right. The last one is Smoke Road. Crystal Jacqueline and Friends. Now, Crystal Jacqueline is from the Honey Pot. This is a CD that Fruits put out. Basically, it's an introduction to the Honey Pot. But this is a marvellous album. Now, on the back cover, it says File under Female Vocal Folk. It is folky, but it isn't Fairport Convention folky. This is more folk horror. Horror's the wrong word, isn't it? You know the soundtrack to The Wicker Man? Well, it's not quite as wicker as that. But there are elements. It's a double album. Icarus Peel, I think he's behind. What a great name. I mean, it's a huge cast on this, and this is also on transparent, folky, smoky vinyl. All in polyline sleeves. As is sides 3 and 4. You get a lyrics to one of the songs and a lovely print of the cover of the artwork, which I love the artwork on that. Slight edit there because I went off to get my notes, but this album is also one of my favourites from this 4 albums that I've shown you today. There's 19 tracks on it. Is it folk music? It's more atmospheric, it's more film-like, it's more cinematic. I know I've started to use that word a lot in my reviews, but I find that some music, that's where it sends me now. When I listen to music, I really listen to music. I'm not making a cup of tea or doing other things, potting. I sit down and I listen to it. And there are 2 tracks in particular which don't feature Jacqueline on vocals, and those are Grey Goose which is an instrumental, and the last one, Lament. I mean, Grey Goose itself is, all the instruments are played by the guy who's got the best name in the world for being a musician, which is Icarus Peel, who plays everything on that. And his guitar playing is sublime. It's beautiful. It's absolutely, each note is cherry picked to just drop into the aural spaciousness that this music seems to inhabit. Jacqueline's voice on In the Sky and All Around is just amazing. And I just find as the album progresses, it seems to me, it just got better and better. Each side, is giving away more of its secrets to the one before that. Elvin Boy is one of my favourite songs as well. The Burning is one of my favourite songs. It's English, it is folk, but it's kind of, there's lots of flute, so it gives this, the phrase that I use the most, I said this was progressive folk. Is it, because I know the label uses the word psych folk a lot, but I would say it's progressive folk. Probably, I'm probably saying that because of the flute, and I'm probably saying that because of the mellotron, and probably because on the back cover they kind of tell you where they're from, in the way they're describing what made them, pick this series of songs, music inspired by, the kind of stories, and this artwork is just, it's just beautiful, isn't it? Because it says, the words and phrases dance like leaves over our home grey cobblestones. So it was decided these dream-swept words and our waterfall melodies would obviously come together. We called for our friends, tuned the guitars to the key of dust, and set the mellotron for the heart of the forest. I think personally any band that sets the controls to the mellotron to the heart of the forest gets my vote anyway. But give this a listen. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your support and kind messages to everything we do at Now Spinning Magazine. Please reach out to us via the website at nowspinning.co.uk. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. Become involved. Become a Patron YouTube member. And get access to our private communities on WhatsApp and Facebook. And come along to our own private pub with the Now Spinning Arms, which meets up twice a month via Zoom. Take care, all of you, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon.